Hello. I am dashing today, and I've been kind of just like taking breaks between the dashes today. Um, and I made pretty good money so far. I'm taking advantage of lunch and dinner because I have a little bit difficulty seeing in the dark, and I noticed in one eye I have worse vision than the other in the dark, but in the daylight I can see just fine. So it's kind of limiting me a little bit to driving at night. I used to have much sharper vision at night, and especially in the one eye. And what happens is if I'm driving too long, I start to see double, and then I need to wear my glasses for seeing double. But that doesn't happen during the day at all. So I'm headed on to Panda Express. I said that was a busy spot, but I'm hungry.
Turn left.
So I'm going to go ahead and hit Panda Express. And I just recently upgraded my old phone. I have an old S22 Ultra. And I was like, I tried Hyundai Maps, and Hyundai Maps keeps giving me wrong directions.
At the stop sign, turn left onto South.
So I want to have a phone that's dedicated just to Google Maps. I won't give the number to anybody or anything like that. I don't call anybody on it. It's just for Google Maps in the car, and also having a backup in case something ever happened to my phone. Let's say I dropped it or something like that, I can continue working or whatever I needed to, call support, whatever I need to, having a secondary phone. So, and I got the phone through with Klarna. Klarna is a great service. I love Klarna. And I got the Klarna Mobile, and it's $40 a month. It's unlimited AT&T Priority Tower service. So you don't get bumped or whatever, when it's busy. And I tested the speed at home, and it's through the roof. It's super fast. So we're gonna see how AT&T is pretty good. And the reason I use AT&T is because when I had used a service that used AT&T, because AT&T itself is real expensive to go to, so I can't afford that. And for a second phone, so go to get this prepaid is a much better deal. And I had the phone already. But I've discovered it was Klarna. Shoot. Okay, let me pause it real quick and think about what I was saying here. I'm just concentrating on driving, I forget. Oh, I remembered it now. I had a GPS tracker and I used AT&T towers in my previous car because I have had 3 cars stolen from me, and I didn't want my Tucson to get stolen. Thank God I live now in a place where I don't have to worry about my car getting stolen unless I go to some big city or something like that. But at least I know where my car is, This has the Hyundai thing on it. They put it on there free of charge for X amount of months. It was like 16 months or something like that, so I have it for another year. And then I'll just get the tracker and put the tracker in the car because it has a much more accurate. It tells you how fast it's going. If I let the car to jump, I know exactly where he's at. It doesn't, this one, it doesn't tell you real-time information. It just tells you where your car last was located, and then you have to locate it. And that takes 2 to 3 minutes, so your car could be somewhere else, by the time you locate it. And with that, you could tell it was driving at the time. So you can see in real time where it's going, and it worked excellently everywhere he went. It was never offline, except for if he was in a parking garage. But I just in case somebody I have a paranoia about somebody stealing my car and me not getting it back, because that happened to me. I remember going out to work one day, my car was gone, and I worked at Domino's as a delivery driver. What am I supposed to do? I have no car now. I can't work. And then a former roommate of mine, or let's say not a roommate, he was just a squatter at my place that I invited in as a roommate, and it was to be renting the room to him for a really low price. And he ended up stealing my car in the end, and the car was never returned. So my car was gone, and it was him. And they never found the car.
Light, use the second from the left lane to turn left.
And that was inconvenient, because I needed that car. I lived 2 miles from the nearest thing, so of course I had to rent a car. And at the time I was struggling, he had stolen all my money, so I had no way of filling up the rent-a-car. So the credit card ran out of gas on me, and then I couldn't get fuel because it had no money because he had stolen it all. So I've been through it. I know what it feels like to be abandoned and stranded. He even stole my phone, so I didn't have a way to contact for anybody for help. I lived over 2 miles from the nearest thing, so there was nothing at all. I lived in a neighborhood, So it wasn't like I could just walk to the store very easily. Especially in the health, when I ended up developing severe pneumonia during the period of time he was there, and almost dying. And so I couldn't really tend to dealing with pneumonia, and I have HIV, so the pneumonia almost took me out. And I'm allergic to penicillin, so I can't take like most antibiotics. So I have to, they had to give me cocktails of antibiotics through IV to cure my pneumonia. I was in the hospital for 2 months. By then I was completely wiped out. And I weighed 155 pounds. I'm 6'2". But I managed to recover and get my health back together again, even despite these people who did me in and decided that I was a target because he brought in other people in my house and everything like that. And, he caused a lot of pain for me. But I got seriously physically ill.
At the next light,
I got in trouble with the association and my condo complex because of him. He threw a party when my brother unalived himself, and he threw a party at my place while I was at my brother's memorial service. And I was struggling. My health was deteriorating at the time, and he was making it worse. So, by that, you get into a situation where you can't really get out of that situation.
At the light, turn right onto East Dinosaur Crossing Drive. Then you'll turn left into the parking lot.
And it was a horrible situation. But I thank God it's over. I'm now in St. George where people love me, and I don't have to worry about people like that anymore. St. George is a beautiful city. We don't have people like that here, thank God. Or they're in jail where they belong. He also attacked me in my own house and beat me up, physically beat me up severely. I was suffering health problems at the time. I've recovered now. Thank God, I'm so happy about that. But doesn't mean I wasn't, vulnerable at the time. And it attacked me physically, and I'm suffering from pneumonia. He hit my best friend Joseph in the face when he confronted him about the treatment he was treating me and how he was stealing all my possessions, and he punched him in the face. And said, "Shut up, old man." Joseph died. He died of AIDS. So Joseph was frail and dying at the time he hit him in the face. Trees was a big, giant guy. He weighed like 200 and maybe 50 pounds. And he was very muscular, kind of fat, but, muscular and fat at the same time. He could just like steamroll about anybody because he was 6'3". So he had that physique. I don't have that physique. I'm 6'2", but I'm not a super, robust person. And I'm I just basically curled up in a ball and protected my face so it didn't get, I didn't get my nose broken or teeth, because he bragged about me to somebody he punched in the face and knocked their front teeth out. Bragged about that. He said, "Oh, they're falling out anyway." It's like, that's another justification. Just like he said when my brother unalived himself, he says, "Now you know how it feels." It's like how it feels because his brother got killed or something like that, and I felt bad for him for it because of it, and I let him move into my place because he didn't have anywhere else to go. And so now I know how it feels to lose a brother. Yeah, I do know how it is to lose a brother, because this mess is going on. My health is suffering. My brother unalives himself, and this maniac asshole is physically abusing me and punches my best friend in the face for confronting him about his abuse. That's all I have to say. Thank you.